Welcome to my channel. Today, we're going to talk about something amazing. What if I told you that just 50 years ago, Dubai had no skyscrapers, no fancy hotels, and no big shopping malls? What if I told you that it was once just a small desert village with only sand and sea? Yes, this is the incredible story of how Dubai changed from a tiny fishing village to one of the richest and most modern cities in the world. Stay with me till the end, because every chapter has a surprising fact that will make you say, wow. Chapter 1. From Sand to Settlement. The early life of Dubai. Let's go back in time. Not just 50 or 100 years, but over 4,000 years ago. Imagine standing in the middle of the desert. There are no buildings, no roads, no airports, and no noise. The wind moves the hot sand, and the sun shines bright above. This was Dubai, just empty desert and the blue waters of the Arabian Gulf. But even in this dry land, people found a way to live. These early people were strong and smart. They found water from wells. They hunted animals. They traveled across the desert on camels. They were called Bedouins, and they lived simple lives with big hearts. Dubai is lucky. It has something very special, a natural water path called Dubai Creek. It's like a small river that connects the sea to the land. Because of this creek, small wooden boats could come into Dubai even when it was just a small village. This was very important. It allowed trade to begin. Long ago, traders from India, Persia, and East Africa came by boat. They brought things like spices, cloth, and gold. And they took back dates, fish, and pearls. So even though Dubai was small, it was always open to the world. Now, let's talk about the people. Life was hard. There was no electricity, no fans, no air conditioners. In the summer, the heat was strong. But people worked every day. They lived in houses made of palm tree leaves. These houses were light and simple. During the day, men went fishing or hunting. Some traveled with camels across the desert to trade goods in other villages. Women took care of the home, cooked food, and made clothes by hand. Children helped with daily work. Everyone had a role. One of the most important jobs was pearl diving. This was very dangerous. Men would sail out into the sea in small boats. They did not have oxygen tanks or special suits. They held their breath, tied a rock to their feet, and jumped into the deep water. They searched for oysters. Inside the oysters, they hoped to find pearls, small, white, shiny stones that were very valuable. But the sea was deep, and the work was scary. Many men got sick. Some never came back. But pearls were the treasure of Dubai. Let me tell you a true story. A young boy named Hamad lived near the creek. His father was a pearl diver. Every day, Hamad watched his father leave on the boat. One summer, Hamad asked to go with him. He was only 13, but he wanted to help his family. His mother was afraid, but she agreed. On the first day of the trip, Hamad watched the men dive into the water. On the second day, it was his turn. He tied the stone to his leg. He held his breath. Then he jumped. The water was dark and quiet. His ears hurt. His chest was tight. He grabbed an oyster and pulled the rope to come back up. When they opened the shell, there was a pearl inside. A small one, but it was Hamad's first. He was so proud. This pearl helped his family buy food that week, and Hamad became one of the youngest divers in his village. This story shows us the heart and bravery of the people of early Dubai. Now, let's talk about the tribes. Many different tribes lived in the desert. One of them was the Al Yusuf tribe. They helped keep trade alive. They worked with other families and made sure the land was peaceful. These tribes were not rich, but they shared what they had. They believed in family, tradition, and honor. This spirit is still part of Dubai today. By the early 1800s, Dubai was still small, but it was growing. It had become a known place for trade and fishing. The people were tough, kind, and full of hope. Even with no oil, no tall buildings, and no money, they built a strong community. They believed in hard work, and they believed in the future. So, from the hot desert sand, a small settlement began. With the help of the sea, the courage of pearl divers, and the strength of the Bedouin tribes, Dubai was born. This is where the story begins. But this is just the beginning. In the next chapter, we will see how Dubai faced new dangers: pirates, power struggles, and the arrival of a royal family that would change everything. Chapter 2: Pearls, Pirates, and Progress. Dubai in the 1800s. Now that we know how Dubai started as a small fishing and pearl diving village, let's move into the 1800s, the 19th century. This was a time of great change, danger, and progress. During this period, pearl diving became the most important job in Dubai. It was not just a local business anymore. People from India, Persia, and even Europe came by boat to buy these beautiful white pearls. Pearls from Dubai were known for their high quality and natural beauty. Some were small and smooth like rice grains. Others were big and round like marbles. These pearls were used in jewelry, decorations, and even clothes for kings and queens. For many families in Dubai, pearl diving was their only way to make money. It was a hard life, but it gave them hope. But life near the sea was not always peaceful. At that time, the waters of the Arabian Gulf were not safe. Pirates, yes, real pirates, often attacked trading ships. These pirates stole pearls, goods, and even people. They made trade very dangerous. Sometimes, small villages had to pay the pirates to leave them alone. This was a big problem for Dubai. The people wanted peace, not war. They wanted to trade freely, not live in fear. And that's where our next important story begins: the arrival of a new leader. In the year 1833, a group of about 800 people made a big decision. They were from the Bani Yas tribe in Abu Dhabi, and they were led by a young and brave man named Maktoum bin Budi. At that time, there were disagreements and political problems in Abu Dhabi. Maktoum bin Budi and his followers wanted a new place to live, somewhere they could grow, trade, and live in peace. So they packed their things, brought their families, and traveled north, across the desert and along the coast. Their destination? The small, quiet village of Dubai. Here comes the spike moment, the turning point in Dubai's history. When Maktoum bin Budi and his people arrived in Dubai, they did something surprising. They did not fight. They did not attack. Instead, they spoke to the local leaders and asked to settle in peace. The people of Dubai agreed. There was no war, no bloodshed. Maktoum bin Budi became the ruler of Dubai, and this peaceful takeover became the start of the Al Maktoum dynasty, which still rules the emirate today. This moment, without violence, full of respect and unity, shows the character of Dubai's people. It was a city that welcomed change without fear. Under Maktoum's leadership, Dubai began to grow. He understood the importance of trade. He knew that Dubai's location, next to the sea and close to India and Iran, made it a perfect place for business. So, he opened the port to more traders. He made sure that taxes were low and rules were fair. More merchants began to visit. Some stayed. Small markets began to appear along the creek. Wooden boats came in every day. The smell of spices, dates, fish, and coffee filled the air. Dubai was no longer just a fishing village. It was now a small but rising trading town. At the same time, life was still difficult. Most people lived in simple houses made from palm trees. There were no cars, no phones, and no hospitals. But with better trade and new leadership, people started to feel more secure. Families grew, more homes were built, the markets became busier, and slowly the name Dubai began to spread across the region. Dubai was also becoming more stable than some nearby towns. While other cities had many fights over power, Dubai focused on trade, peace, and progress. This helped it become a safe place for business and travel. Maktoum bin Butti passed away in 1852, but his family continued to rule. His leadership left a strong foundation for the future. This period, the 1800s, was a time when Dubai made a choice to open its doors to the world, to welcome traders from many lands, and to build its future not through war, but through peace, business, and unity. Even though the city was still small, the seeds of greatness had been planted. And this is just the beginning. In the next chapter, something even bigger will happen. Dubai will discover a new kind of treasure, black gold. Yes, oil. But what if I told you that Dubai didn't have much oil, and yet it still became rich? How? That's the story we'll discover next. Chapter 3. The oil discovery that changed everything. What if one black liquid could change the future of an entire country? What if just a few drops of it could turn a desert village into a global city? This black liquid is called oil, and in the 1950s and 60s, oil was found in many places in the Arabian Gulf. Countries like Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, and Abu Dhabi became rich very fast. They had huge oil fields, and their governments earned billions of dollars. But here's the twist in our story. Dubai didn't have much oil. It had some, but not a lot. Still, it became one of the most modern cities in the world. How? Let's find out. In the early 1960s, Dubai started exporting oil. But it wasn't a big amount. Many people thought Dubai would never be rich like its neighbors. But Sheikh Rashid bin Saeed Al Maktoum, the ruler of Dubai at the time, had a very different idea. He knew the oil wouldn't last forever. He didn't want to use the money to buy gold, cars, or big palaces. Instead, he wanted to use the oil money to build the future. Sheikh Rashid had a strong vision. He looked at the desert and saw roads. He looked at the sea and saw ports. He looked at empty land and saw airports, schools, hospitals, and hotels. Many people around him didn't understand at first. "Why build an airport?" they asked. "We don't have many visitors." But Sheikh Rashid said, "Build it, and they will come." And they did. One of the first big projects he built with oil money was Port Rashid, a large and modern seaport that opened in 1972. Before that, only small wooden boats could come into Dubai Creek. But now, big ships from around the world could stop in Dubai to unload goods. This made Dubai an important place for global trade. Next came roads and bridges. In the past, people traveled across sand using camels. But now, Sheikh Rashid wanted cars and buses. He built roads that connected Dubai to other cities like Abu Dhabi and Sharjah. He also built the Al Maktoum Bridge, the first bridge over Dubai Creek. These changes made life easier and faster. And then, in 1979, something amazing happened. Dubai opened the Dubai World Trade Center, the city's first skyscraper. It had 39 floors and was the tallest building in the Gulf at that time. Some people thought it was crazy to build such a big tower in the middle of the desert. But Sheikh Rashid believed in it. He wanted Dubai to be seen as a global business city, and this tower was the first step. Businessmen and investors from Europe, Asia, and America started coming to Dubai. They saw that it was open, modern, and ready for the future. The most interesting part of this story is how Dubai used its small oil income wisely. While other countries focused only on oil, Dubai started building a new kind of economy. It invited companies to set up offices. It made rules that were friendly for business. It welcomed tourists, workers, and dreamers from around the world. Dubai didn't want to be rich just from oil. It wanted to become rich from trade, tourism, finance, real estate, and technology. And it worked. This is one of the biggest aha moments in Dubai's history. Oil helped Dubai stand up, but it was vision, planning, and action that helped it grow. Today, oil makes up only a small part of Dubai's economy. Most of the money now comes from things like real estate, aviation, tourism, and international trade. Sheikh Rashid passed away in 1990, but his dream continued. His son, Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, took his vision even further. Under his leadership, Dubai started building things the world had never seen before: man-made islands, luxury hotels, and the world's tallest tower. But that part of the story comes later. For now, let's stop and think. Many cities had more oil than Dubai, but very few used it the way Dubai did. Instead of waiting for money, Dubai created opportunities. Instead of depending on oil, it diversified, and this is what made it different. In the next chapter, we'll enter the 1990s and early 2000s. The years when Dubai truly became a dream city. The famous Burj Al Arab, the Palm Jumeirah, and the beginning of the Burj Khalifa all started during this time. Dubai was no longer just a trading port, it was becoming a global brand, and the world was starting to pay attention. Chapter 4: The Dream City, Dubai. In the 1990s and early 2000s, close your eyes for a moment. Imagine standing in the middle of the desert in 1990. There are a few tall buildings, many dusty roads, and the sun is hot on your face. Now open your eyes and look around 15 years later. Suddenly, you're standing next to a 7-star hotel shaped like a sail. There's a man-made island in the shape of a palm tree, and in the middle of the city, a huge tower is growing into the sky, higher than any building in the world. What happened? How did everything change so fast? The answer is simple: visionary leadership, and the courage to dream big. In 1990, after the death of Sheikh Rashid, his son Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum began playing a bigger role in the development of Dubai. Later, he officially became the ruler in 2006, but even before that, he had a clear vision. He didn't want Dubai to be just a modern city. He wanted it to be the best city in the world, for business, for tourism, for innovation, and for life. And to make that dream real, he started building the impossible. One of the first symbols of this new dream was the Burj Al Arab. This hotel was not just a building, it was a statement. Opened in 1999, it was built on an artificial island and shaped like a sail. It quickly became known as the only 7-star hotel in the world. With gold-covered interiors, a helicopter landing pad, and rooms bigger than some houses, it became a symbol of luxury. Many people thought Dubai was crazy to build such a hotel. But Sheikh Mohammed believed that if you want to bring the world to your city, you must offer the best. Then came something even more surprising: the Palm Jumeirah. Imagine looking at the sea and deciding to create an island shaped like a giant palm tree. It sounds impossible, but in Dubai, impossible is just the beginning. Construction began in the early 2000s. Thousands of workers, engineers, and planners worked day and night. They moved mountains of sand from the sea. They used GPS and high-tech machines. The project took years, but the result was stunning. A man-made island with luxury homes, hotels, and beaches, all shaped like a palm. When viewed from space, it's one of the few man-made things you can actually see. But Dubai didn't stop there. While the Palm Jumeirah was being built, something even taller was rising in the heart of the city: the Burj Khalifa. The idea was bold: build the tallest building in the world. Many said it was too risky. Some said it was too expensive. But once again, Sheikh Mohammed and his team believed in the dream. Construction began in 2004. Over 12,000 workers from more than 100 countries worked on it. The tower reached the sky, floor by floor, and finally, in 2010, it opened. The Burj Khalifa stands at 828 meters. It has more than 160 floors. It became a global icon and made the world stop and stare at Dubai. But behind every big building, there were real people: engineers, architects, planners, and thousands of workers helped turn the dream into reality. Many of them left their countries and families to work in Dubai. They built roads, bridges, airports, and railways. They worked in the sun, the dust, and the heat. These workers were not always seen, but their hands built the future. This is a part of the story that must be remembered. Let's take a moment for our top spike: a powerful before and after. In 1990, Dubai was a small city with low buildings, narrow roads, and a quiet skyline. By 2005, it had superhighways, luxury hotels, iconic buildings, shopping malls the size of airports, and a skyline full of glass and light. It was like the city jumped 50 years ahead in just 15 years. No other city on Earth had changed this fast. Why did this happen? Because of clear leadership, fast decision-making, and a belief that dreams can come true. Sheikh Mohammed once said, "In Dubai, we don't wait for things to happen. We make them happen." That sentence explains everything. By the early 2000s, Dubai was on every traveler's list. It had become a place where people from all over the world came to work, invest, shop, relax, and dream. And remember, this was just the start. Dubai was rising, but a big test was coming. In the next chapter, we will see how everything changed again, this time because of a global financial crisis. People lost jobs, projects stopped, and the dream city was at risk. But Dubai did not give up. It came back stronger than ever. That's the next part of this amazing story. Chapter 5. Crisis, Comeback, and Confidence. Dubai, after 2008. In the early 2000s, Dubai felt unstoppable. Skyscrapers were rising, tourists were arriving, and the city was growing faster than ever. But then, in 2008, something happened that no one expected. A global financial crisis began. Banks around the world stopped lending money. Big companies lost billions. People everywhere lost their jobs, their homes, and their savings. And even Dubai, this city of dreams, was not safe. At first, everything seemed normal. But slowly, the signs started to show. Construction stopped. Buildings that were half finished stood empty. Workers left. Investors became nervous. Some people began to say, "Dubai is finished. It was only a dream. Now it's over." The media started writing negative stories. International headlines said things like, "Dubai's bubble has burst." People who had come to Dubai to build a better future started to leave. Expats packed their bags. Real estate prices dropped. Projects like the World Islands were put on hold. Even Palm Jebel Ali, a second man-made island, stopped construction. Dubai was quiet again, but not in a good way. For a moment, it felt like everything was falling apart. But Dubai did not give up. Instead of hiding, the leaders of Dubai looked forward. They asked a new question: what can we learn from this? And how can we come back even stronger? This was the moment when Dubai changed direction. The city realized it could not depend only on real estate and construction, so it started to reinvent itself. It focused more on tourism, finance, education, technology, and innovation. Dubai started to build a smarter economy, an economy that could survive without oil and without real estate bubbles. Now comes our top spike moment, a story full of emotion, surprise, and gratitude. In 2009, Dubai was in deep financial trouble. The government needed money to finish its biggest project, the Burj Dubai, the tallest building in the world. But money had run out. Many thought the tower would never be completed. Then, at the last moment, Abu Dhabi, the capital of the UAE, stepped in. It gave $10 billion to help Dubai manage its debt and continue important projects. As a thank you, Dubai did something very special. On the opening day of the world's tallest building, the city changed its name from Burj Dubai to Burj Khalifa in honor of Sheikh Khalifa bin Zayed Al Nahyan, the ruler of Abu Dhabi. This was more than just a name change. It was a symbol of unity, support, and respect. It showed the world that the UAE stands together, even during hard times. And it proved that Dubai was not finished. It was ready to rise again. From 2010 onward, Dubai began its comeback. Slowly, real estate projects restarted. Tourists returned. New ideas were born. The city began to plan Expo 2020, a global event that would bring together people, cultures, and innovations from around the world. The Expo's theme was Connecting Minds, Creating the Future. It was a perfect message for a city that had faced disaster but refused to give up. Dubai also invested in technology. It started the Smart Dubai project, aiming to make the city the smartest and happiest in the world. New laws helped small businesses grow. The airport became one of the busiest on Earth. Dubai opened more free zones for international companies, and the city began to welcome more talent from across the world. Tech experts, teachers, artists, and doctors. One of the most emotional parts of this chapter is how Dubai didn't just bounce back, it came back with more confidence. It learned from its mistakes. It took a step back and then made a giant leap forward. Not many cities can do that, but Dubai did, because it never stopped believing in its future. Today, when we look at Dubai, we see a city full of lights, dreams, and hope. But behind that shine is a story of hard times, of falling down, and of standing back up. That's what makes this chapter so powerful. It reminds us that success is not about never failing, it's about never staying down when you fall. In the next and final chapter, we'll look at Dubai today and tomorrow. We'll explore flying taxis, robot police, AI government, and Dubai's plans to become one of the most advanced cities in the world by 2040. The journey from the sand to the sky is not over. In fact, it's just getting started. Chapter 6. The future is now. Dubai, today, and tomorrow. Take a deep breath. Now look around. This is Dubai today, a city that began as a quiet fishing village in the desert and is now one of the most modern and global cities on Earth. More than 3 million people live here. Over 200 nationalities call it home. You will hear English, Arabic, Hindi, Tagalog, and many other languages in the same street. In Dubai, it doesn't matter where you're from. If you work hard, dream big, and respect others, you are welcome. But what makes Dubai special today is not just the tall buildings or luxury shopping malls. It's the way the city is always looking forward. Dubai wants to be the city of the future, not in 50 years, but right now. Let's look at some of the amazing things happening today. Dubai already has robot police who help give directions, take reports, and even catch minor crimes. There are plans for flying taxis tested by big companies like Volocopter that may soon carry people above traffic. At the airport, you don't even need a passport. You walk through a scanner, and AI, artificial intelligence, recognizes your face. The city has smart traffic lights, drone delivery tests, and driverless metro trains. It feels like science fiction, but it's real, and it's happening now. And it's not just about technology. Dubai is now focusing on education, healthcare, green energy, and sustainability. The city knows that a good future is not only fast, but also clean, fair, and smart. That's why they created the Dubai 2040 Urban Master Plan. This is a long-term dream to make the city greener, more connected, and more livable. More parks, better public transport, new schools, hospitals, and eco-friendly homes. They want people to walk, cycle, work, and relax without stress. But maybe the most beautiful goal of all is this: Dubai wants to become the happiest city in the world. Yes, the happiest. That means it's not just about money or buildings, it's about how people feel. Do they feel safe? Do they feel welcome? Do they enjoy their lives? Dubai has a special government department called the Ministry of Happiness, a real office that works on improving quality of life for everyone in the city. Now, here's the top spike moment, the emotional and powerful question that brings it all together. What do you think the future of Dubai will look like? Will we see flying cars in the sky, schools with robot teachers, entire neighborhoods powered by the sun, cities under the sea or on Mars? When you look at what Dubai has already done in just 50 years, the future feels like anything is possible. As images of futuristic Dubai appear, tall towers made of glass, green parks, clean energy cars, flying taxis and robot assistants, the music rises, and you begin to understand something very important. Dubai is more than a city. It is an idea, a dream that never stops growing. So now, after 6 chapters, we have traveled from the hot desert sands of the past to the high-tech future of tomorrow. We've seen how vision, leadership, hard work, and unity turned a small village into a global city. Dubai teaches us a powerful lesson. Your past does not limit your future. Even the biggest dreams can come true if you dare to believe and work for them. Thank you so much for watching till the end. Dubai's story shows us that even the smallest places can grow big with vision, courage, and belief. If you learned something new today, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and comment below. What was the most surprising thing you learned about Dubai? I read every comment and love hearing from you. See you in the next video.